Hello and welcome to the Evidence Based Chiropractor. I am your host, Dr. Jeff Langmaid, and on today's episode, we're talking all about the Fast Money Patient Reactivation Training. I just released this, and it is available for a limited time for free at fastmoneytraining.com. I'll drop that link down below. It is fastmoneytraining.com. I want to highlight some really important components of the course. Now, hopefully, as a listener, you head on over there. You register for the course, you're going to get opportunity to get a whole bunch of great stuff we'll talk about on today's episode, but I'll also, over the next 10-15 minutes, I'll highlight some of the most important aspects that you can take action on, like right now, to help make November and December of this year the best months of the year for your practice. So let's dive in right there. The Fast Money Patient Reactivation Training course is named that for a very specific reason. The Fast Money component is all about HSA, FSA. This is a massive missed opportunity in so many chiropractic practices. Over 70% of your patients right now have HSA or FSA benefits, and some of that expires each and every year. What better place to utilize the benefits they or their employers are already paying for than your practice? And with the use it or lose it type component of it, it's insane to not get out there and let people know that. Number one, that's being super helpful. And number two, many times people will choose to use those benefits in your practice, which gives you a revenue boost, but it also helps them live healthier lives. So the Fast Money component is HSA, FSA. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. The patient reactivation, which is part of a patient reactivation itself, but the other component are specific patient reactivation messages. Those take the place, as you probably know, with what we do with email newsletters. We provide you with templates of those in the course. Additionally, patient just direct response, so to speak, your story branded emails and messages that let people know, hey, before you're waiting too long and a small problem becomes a big problem, why don't you come in? It's been a while since we've seen you. Paraphrasing the copy there, but I think you get the point of it. So in the Fast Money Patient Reactivation Training, there's 4 modules, and it clocks in at just over an hour. So you and or your team can get through it pretty quickly, but there's some really important components of it. Module 1, again, you can get this at Fast Money Training for a limited time. Next year, we're offering this for $2,000 straight up. So because it includes 4 modules, and it includes all of my favorite email templates. So you and your team can literally copy and paste from the guide into your email service provider and send this out. And the goal is to have some money come in, basically generate some reactivations. So how does this lay out? Well, module 1 starts with why your current thinking is upside down. So we talk about this weird dichotomy, and we've discussed it on this podcast a few times, which is the most profitable patients you have are reactivations. The least profitable patients you have are quote unquote new patient leads. Why is that the case? Because leads have conversion steps. It might take 100 leads to generate 50 phone calls, with 25 of those showing and 12 of those saying yes to care. So you paid for 100 leads, but maybe that equates to 12 to 15 actual patients in your practice that continue or at least start even care. Whereas on the reactivation side, you probably have hundreds, if not thousands, of past or inactive patients that are super profitable. There's no conversion metric. You throw that out. So we talk about this in the context of what we call the pyramid of patient profitability and how to flip that upside down. So that's where module 1 starts. The second component of module number 1 is all around the mindset of net momentum. Net momentum, by definition, are your new patients plus your reactivated patients divided by the patients that go inactive, the number of patients that go inactive over the month. That equals your net momentum. If your net momentum is more than 1, then you have a literal infinitely sustainable practice, meaning you're constantly building momentum month after month after month, and you'll never end up being in practice 5, 10, 15 years and still having room on your schedule because you've had a positive net momentum. A negative net momentum means that you have more people inactivating than activating, and often what that results in is roller coaster marketing, deep discount ads, the schedule that's never full, all of those things. And the key component is many of us know that, okay, new patients minus the people or divided by the people who become inactive, but man, you can offset every new patient via a reactivation. And that is the missing component for so many practices. So we dive deep on that and how to adjust your thinking and sort of just shift things internally to really be able to take action on it. So module number 2 is all about reaching and teaching your most profitable patients. So we discuss the 3 reasons patients stop care in your practice, why the philosophy of teach and invite consistently is so much different than discount and annoy every now and again. And then again, how to turn your marketing right side up. So that's modules 1 and 2 are what we call part 1, which is about how to think about building an easier and more profitable practice. Now, part 2 is module 3 and 4, and this is how to make fast money. So module 3 kicks things off with the campaigns you need to send to stay consistent. So what do you say in these campaigns? What do you send? And how do you track results? Super actionable stuff. And this ties into what we do now for over 400 practices around the world. So we're showing you under the hood exactly the stats, the data, how to do this. And in the accompanying guide to the Fast Money training, we're going to give you all of the templates, and this is all written out as well. So literally, if you take an hour of time, even if you just use the templates, please head over Fast Money Training and get them. But I think this really can provide a big shift. It's something we've been working on internally for probably just about a year or so. So this has been a huge endeavor. And for the people in our ecosystem, you listening to this podcast, my LinkedIn connections, the people that follow us on Facebook or on our email list, we want to thank you for being part of our community. And that's why we're offering it for free right now for a limited time. And next year we will charge for it. But module number 3, again, all around what to say, what to send, and how to track results. And module 4 is really diving deep into knowing what's working. So what actions do you track to ensure success? What are the key performance indicators or KPIs that you should, and I'll also provide you in the training and in the guide, we provide you with what those, not only what those KPIs are, but how you stack up. So in other words, what are we seeing with 400 practices around the world? What are we seeing for open rates? What are we seeing for the number of people clicking call to schedule and click to schedule each and every month? What are we seeing in terms of list sizes? We showcase all of that to you so you have a really grounded foundation as far as what's going on out there. Then we talk about the easy and profitable daily action steps that guarantee results, and then your next steps from there. Now, in addition to all that, we've also included a bonus module all around welcoming new patients and how to improve your retention from day one. So this goes into welcome messaging in your practice. We've discussed this previously on this podcast, and it's a really, really critical component to setting things off on the right foot. And as I like to say, educating beyond the 4 walls of your practice. If the only time a patient's really engaging with you is within the 4 walls of your practice, when they're in your practice, you're missing out on 99% of the juice, which is they're living their life outside of your practice. So how are you touching them? And yes, getting stuff out there on social is nice. Yes, sending transactional texts are nice, but please be in their email box. And sometimes we hear like, email, I don't know, is that kind of like old school? No, you're probably receiving a ton of Black Friday emails right now because it works. And your patients, 99% of people, get this, 99% of people check their email at least once a day. Over 50% of people check their email more than 10 times per day. So the question then just becomes, so they're there. The question then becomes, if you're not showing up in their inbox, who is? And what other messaging are they getting? And I can guarantee you it's probably not messaging that you'd like unless you're the one delivering it. So that's really the module breakdown. Those 4 modules, they're quick hitters. Each module is about 15 minutes in length, 3 videos. Each video is about 5 minutes long. So you can cruise around. You can really dive into the areas that you're most interested in. But to get the best results, I recommend just kind of going through and working through it. You'll also get a workbook. So the workbook is your step-by-step instruction guide to help you reach your revenue goals and make your practice less stressful and more fun. So that workbook has all of the templates, HSA, FSA email templates. You can copy and paste them. Weekly email newsletters. We did a month of them. There's 4 of them in there. You can copy and paste them. We show you exactly the design elements of how we do it and make things easier for people, but you can copy and paste them right there. The other component you'll see is reactivation emails that are more, so to speak, story branded. So those are in there as well as that welcome email tying into that bonus module. So all of that material is there for you. It is all available for a limited time for free at fastmoneytraining.com. We've had thousands of docs interested. We literally have, in less than 72 hours since launch, when I'm recording this, we have had well over 200 chiropractors hop in to the training, and the feedback has been awesome, and it's just begun. So I wanted to ensure that I got this podcast out, letting everybody know, number one, thank you so much for tuning in, listening to the podcast. And number two, I'd love to just do you a solid as a big thank you. This is a $2,000 program. And as a listener of this, head over to Fast Money Training, drop that link down below. And again, you're going to get access to everything I just discussed. You'll get full access, all of the modules, all of the videos, in addition to that workbook, which is really where your return comes. I mean, return on investment. There's no investment here. So it is where your action takes place. So this has been a training we've been working on for a long time. We're super excited to get it out, and time is definitely of the essence. We released it specifically this time of year so that you can immediately take action with the HSA, FSA. Let's get some revenue in your practice. You can utilize the reactivations as you roll it through into January. And of course, if you want us to automate the entire process for you, we're happy to do that with Patient Pilot. That's our service. But this is an opportunity really to see what we do, look under the hood, and get a real feel for what are the deliverables and how do things work out. So that's the Fast Money Patient Reactivation Training. It is out and available right now at fastmoneytraining.com. And if you're also in the Smart Chiropractor Facebook group and you've started to take some of these, I'm sure there are listeners out there, maybe you, that have already hopped in and started to work through the modules. I'd love to hear feedback. You know, part of this also getting it out to people in our community like you is to get feedback on what did you love? What did you utilize? What were the results? I would love to hear it. You can always reach out to me, Jeff, at theevidencebasedchiropractor.com, or even better, post some of what you're learning, what you're seeing in the Facebook group, and share that with other docs, and let's just help each other along the way. That's a really great aspect of the Facebook group that's probably underutilized, is the sharing of knowledge amongst each other, especially with a big training like this. Now, before we wrap up on today's episode, I want to say a few words about Align Sleep. Align Sleep pillows are what I use. I have a video coming out. It's awesome. Dr. Michael Pound is the one who developed and founded it. It's the best pillow I have seen. If you are interested in having a pillow in your own house, AlignaSleep.com. I'll drop the link down below. If you sell pillows in your practice, I would do nothing but Align Sleep. AlignaSleep.com. I'll drop that link down below. Additionally, as you heard me talk about in my practice, we use shockwave therapy. And as a matter of fact, we use stem waves specifically because I have found their technology to be awesome. The clinical results are fantastic and the team support is great. So if you want to learn more about how they can work with your practice, go stemwave.com/theevidence-based chiropractor. Go stemwave.com/theevidence-based chiropractor. If you're investing money in new technology before the end of the year as a tax write-off, Shockwave is a absolute place you want to look, and StemWave is a place that I look personally. Go stemwave.com/theevidence-based chiropractor. I'll also drop that link down in the show notes. If you are in the US, then it is Thanksgiving week. Have an awesome Thanksgiving with your family. If you have any feedback for me, Jeff at theevidencebasedchiropractor.com. Otherwise, I hope you have a fantastic week in practice, and I will talk to you soon.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Evidence Based Chiropractor. If you want to grow your practice, come back for next week's episode. If you want to grow faster, visit theevidencebasedchiropractor.com and join our MD Marketing membership today.